Who doesn't love a good ritual summon? Our beloved characters in the original Yu-Gi-Oh anime certainly did. From Blackluster Soldier way back in Duelist Kingdom to the Paladins of Dark and White Dragon in Waking the Dragons, join us while we look at every ritual monster played in the original anime in order of appearance. First up is the mighty Blackluster Soldier. Yugi first summoned him in his duel against Mai during the semifinals for Duelist Kingdom. Yugi looked like he had no way out, but he drew Blackluster Ritual, and that was all he needed. Tributing Gaia and Karibo to fuel the ritual sacrifice. With 3,000 attack and 2,500 defense, this is one of the strongest ritual monsters we see played. It was so strong, my spirit was actually broken when it was summoned, and she just surrendered.
Next up, Relinquished. One of Pegasus's freaky illusionist monsters, he had this card specifically for his duel with Yugi. Relinquished had 0 attack and 0 defense, but a powerful effect. It was able to suck up, that part was kinda gross, the opponent's monsters to buff himself. Fun fact, in the actual TCG, this card has the lowest level, attack, and defense of any ritual monster, and for 23 years was the only level 1 ritual monster until the release of Cyberse Sage.
Magician of Black Chaos. The last ritual monster to be played in Duelist Kingdom, this spellcaster with 2,800 attack and 2,600 defense was the downfall of Maximilian Pegasus. A beloved addition to the Dark Magician family, Magician of Black Chaos got a highly sought after, powerful retrain in the early days of Yu-Gi-Oh, much like Blackluster Soldier. That was the Dark Magician of Chaos.
Zira the Mant. Starting off Season 2 of the anime, Zira the Mant was one of the few non-machine monsters we saw Bandit Keith play, and it wasn't during Duelist Kingdom or Battle City. Right before Battle City started, Bandit Keith, possessed by Marek, stole Yugi's Millennium Puzzle and forced him into a duel. With 2,800 attack and 2,300 defense, this is the strongest monster we see from Bandit Keith. And if you love the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. We're your place to go for all things on the anime.
Fortress Whale, a powerful ritual monster and the rarest card possessed by Mako Tsunami. This whale of a monster had 2,350 attack and 2,150 defense, which Mako claims is his most powerful monster, even though it's 50 attack points weaker than the amphibian beast we see earlier in his duel against Joey. Even once it's powered up by Umi, Joey manages to take it down, though, through the use of his equip spells. Despite Mako handing this card to Joey alongside the legendary fisherman after his defeat, Joey never plays this monster as he does the legendary fisherman. For those of you who play the OCG or TCG, you might remember that this card was incredibly expensive until a reprint a few years ago, making it a rare card even for us.
Moving on, the Masked Beast. The Masked Beast is one of the strongest ritual monsters we see, coming in at a whopping 3,200 attack and 1,800 defense. Summoned by Umbra with the help of his partner Loomis against Yugi and Kaiba, it was their first boss monster that Loomis and Umbra played before moving on to Masked Beast Desgardius. Fun fact, when the Masked Beast was printed in Labyrinth of Nightmare, it was the strongest ritual monster in terms of attack, and the second strongest card in the game after Gate Guardian.
Mystical Beast Circuit, everyone's favorite non-ritual ritual monster. For those of us who are used to seeing this card in the actual card game, it may come to mind as an effect monster, but in the anime it seemed to be a ritual monster, though it was one that didn't require tributes and instead required a specific combination of cards. Based on what version and translation of the anime you're watching, it is expressly referred to as a ritual monster. Anyway, boasting 2,500 attack, Circuit devoured the monsters it destroyed in battle and gained half their attack. It definitely wins the award for the grossest ritual monster since Relinquished.
Mythic Dragon, also known as Five-Headed Dragon. Similar to Circuit, many of us will think of this card as a fusion monster, and it certainly was in the Yu-Gi-Oh GX anime. In the original anime, though, it was a ritual monster summoned by the Big Five during the Virtual World arc using Dragon Revival Ritual. The ritual summon of this massive dragon required 5 monsters, one for each attribute of fire, water, wind, earth, and dark. The Big Five combined their deck masters to achieve this, which only worked because Nightmare Penguin was a wind in the anime. Mythic Dragon featured the artwork, stats, and abilities of Five-Headed Dragon as we know it.
Shinado, King of a Higher Plane, serves as Noah's second deck master after fulfilling the ritual Shinado's arc, and he actually combines with it when it's summoned out. With 3,300 attack and 3,000 defense, and an ability to inflict damage when it destroys an opponent's monster, it's definitely one of the strongest ritual cards we see in the anime. Although Noah only uses it for its Deckmaster ability to continuously increase his life points. Yugi attempts to defeat with a ritual of his own, marking the reappearance of Magician of Black Chaos.
Next, we have Exodia Necros. Here's another example of a monster that was a ritual in the anime, but is not in the actual card game. Played by Gozburu against Kaiba in the virtual world, this blackened variant of Exodia was ritual summoned by the effect of Contract with Exodia, which is still our card for summoning this monster. Starting with only 1800 attack and 0 defense, this monster was the only monster Gozburu used to battle Kaiba. Due to its effect, it gained significant abilities for each of the Exodia pieces in the graveyard, which did allow Kaiba to have a way to defeat it.
Paladin of White Dragon. One of the few direct Blue Eyes support cards we see Kaiba play, this ritual monster had 1900 attack, 1200 defense, but you tribute it to special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon. It also has an effect to destroy a face-down defense position monster it attacks. Most importantly, it seems like the Paladin we see is riding a not yet fully grown version of Blue Eyes.
Paladin of Dark Dragon. Known as Knight of Dark Dragon in the anime, this was Joey's counterpart to Paladin of White Dragon. It features the same attack and defense and a similar ability to summon Red Eyes Black Dragon instead of Blue Eyes, but it is missing the bonus effect to destroy face-down monsters. And while Kaiba and Joey played these in the same season, Waking the Dragons, in the actual card game, we got Paladin of White Dragon just a few years into the game's release in Magician's Force, while we had to wait over a decade for Paladin of Dark Dragon to come out in Dragons of Legend.
And one of the last rituals we see played in the original anime, we have Joey's Lord of the Red. Also debuting in Waking the Dragons, we actually see Lord of the Red act as armor for Joey in his duel against Valen. Lord of the Red is basically a warrior version of Red Eyes with the same attack and defense. Its ability to destroy all other monsters on the field after 2 spell cards were activated in the same turn is somewhat a unique effect, too. This makes Joey the second character after Yugi to have played 2 ritual monsters.
Finally, we have Mere Night Calling. This ritual monster played by Dartz in the climactic duel in the Waking Dragons arc is the only ritual monster on this list not to be printed in the TCG in one form or another. With 0 attack and 0 defense, this monster's strength lies in its effect. When summoned, it creates 4 Mirror Knight tokens, also with 0 attack. The tokens have the ability to match the attack of a monster they battle, and their Mirror Shield ability protects them from being destroyed in battle at the cost of their shield. Mirror Knight Calling can regenerate their shields, making them very hard to defeat. During his duel with Kaiba and Yami Yugi, Dartz used the likeness of Yami's companions to represent the tokens, adding a tremendous amount of stress as Yami thought his friends would be in danger. So there's every ritual monster played in the Duel Monsters anime. Which is your favorite? Let us know in the comments down below.
We hope you guys like that content.
If you love the Yu-Gi-Oh anime as much as we do, make sure you check out our other videos including tier lists, faithfully recreated anime decks, and modern character decks.
Don't forget to subscribe.